I'm Max Beatty.
I'm the Squared Circle Podcast Heavyweight Champion, Spencer Hart.
And I'm the host of Pro Talk Wrestling, Nate the Great.
And welcome to a very special episode of Pro Talk Wrestling.
Open up the champagne, pop. It's my house, come on, turn it up. Hear a knock on the door and the night begins. Cause we've done this before, so you come on in. Make yourself at my home, tell me where you been. Pour yourself something cold, baby, cheers to this. Sometimes you gotta stay in, and you know where I live. Yeah, you know what we is. Sometimes you gotta stay in. Welcome to my house, baby, take control now. We can't even slow down. We don't have to go a while. Welcome to my house. Play that music too loud. Show me what you do now.
7 days, 5 hours, 52 minutes, and 28 seconds and counting till WrestleMania. You know, I feel really awkward starting this show. Spencer Hart here from the Squared Circle, joined by Max Beatty. And I'm going to send it now to the host of Pro Talk Wrestling. It's a big day for him. We are honored to be his guest here on Pro Talk Wrestling. My buddy Nate the Great, take it away, my friend.
You know, once again, I just say, tirades!
We've been joking that...
over my show, but you know something? That is totally all right, guys. I am honored and privileged to have you guys here. 1 year ago, I started doing this podcast, and honestly, at 100 episodes, it is just an honor and a privilege to have you guys on as my final guest for this episode. So thank you guys so much for doing this, and it's just awesome, especially going into WrestleMania.
Yeah, we wouldn't.
Hey, man.
Yeah,
Thanks for letting us do it.
Yeah, we wouldn't have it any other way. We're very honored to be your guests here on the episode 100 of Pro Talk Wrestling. So thank you for having us.
Not a problem. I did give you guys a bit of a, thank you during my last episode. So
yes,
and
I did hear that.
For those of you that did not get a chance to see it, go check out the last episode because we get to see the final part to the how WWE should book going from the full year from WrestleMania to next year's WrestleMania for Roman Reigns is definitely worth listening to, and some surprises and some very interesting notes that I took there. But you know what? I'm not going to spoil it that much more, so we're just going to get right into the interview. Basically, what I'm doing for this episode is that we're doing this for 3 hours, guys. Yes, we're going to prove that we are better than WWE writing, which is not saying much. But
a marathon.
But basically, before we get into that, a lot of you remember Spencer because I had him on my show. I think it was, I want to say September, sometime around there.
It was I think we were just starting with the Squared Circle podcast. It might have actually been. Was it before I had the show?
It was before you had the show.
Okay, so it must have been late August because Max and I started this the week leading into Hell in a Cell. And that was mid-September-ish, so...
Yeah, about that.
Yeah.
About the same time that Adam vs. Adam happened. Coincidence?
I think not.
Of course not.
Did you guys see the new video from What Culture?
Oh, no.
The contract signing between Adam and Jack?
Oh, my God.
They're actually What Culture's actually coming to Dallas.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah. So
nice.
Well, actually, I've known that for a while. Susie actually told me that. I think it was either when she was on the show or when we were just talking briefly during the time.
You lucky bastard.
Let's say not all of us can have access to special guests.
Well, you know something. Find somebody who can actually help you with that, so shut up. So
I think we did find somebody for your information, sir.
So, no.
Yes. So basically what I wanted to start off with was actually talking about Mr. Max Beatty here. Max, just a couple of questions for you, and then we'll just, talk about whatever we feel like talking about in this 3-hour-long episode. So,
Max, this is your intervention. You didn't know about this?
So. Intervention? Hey, I will have you know I am
to stop drinking
not that addicted.
You have to stop
I can quit anytime I want.
You have to stop drinking that Mountain Dew Black Label. It's bad for you.
You can't tell me what to do.
You're not my mom.
You're not my mom. I can stop anytime I want.
But no,
bullshit.
For those of you that don't know, Max Beatty is one of those guys who's been a wrestling fan longer than Spencer and I have. And
longer than I've been alive.
Whoa, hold on a minute. I forget. How old are you again, Spencer?
23.
23. I have been watching pro wrestling for, I think this May will be 25 years.
25 years, holy cow.
Quarter century mark, boys.
So you'll be watching wrestling around the time that you were either conceived or your mom was still having you.
No.
I was a twinkle in my father's eye when Max started watching wrestling.
I'm starting to feel old over here, guys. Come on.
The whole
going to be 27 in April. Lay off.
the whole twinkle thing just reminds me of that episode of Family Guy where, this is getting a little off topic, but remember when Stewie was trying to make sure that he wasn't going to have a brother or sister?
Yes, the Immaculate Conception. Yes, I love that episode. It's sad that I know the episode title, but
I've got you in a sleeper hold. I've got you in a sleeper hold.
And then they just fall asleep.
Resistance.
But for a lot of people that don't know, Max has also actually been to a couple of live events, so that's been really.
I love you too, buddy.
For those of you wondering what the hell just happened, we can all see each other through webcam, and I just flipped off Max.
I feel the love and respect from you right there, man.
Love it. But yeah. Talk about your first experience going to a live event, Max, and how just it was.
WWE live event or just a live wrestling event? Okay. WWE live event, it was the Monday Night Raw where Brock Lesnar and The Undertaker did their contract signing for their match at WrestleMania 30.
I remember.
Where Taker gets stabbed through the hand with the pen. Not all things concerned, I did find out that, if you're there, it does kind of enhance the show. It makes it a lot kind of better because, I was only about maybe 110-ish feet away from the entrance ramp. So, I'm getting the full blast of the pyro and the sound. For me, the moment, though, is when Lesnar and Taker come out for their respective entrances because it's 100 feet away. You really do not get a good feel for how gigantic those two men are when you're watching them on TV. Like, even from 100 feet away, Brock Lesnar is shockingly huge, and The Undertaker and that entrance, The Undertaker's entrance live, if you haven't experienced that, oh my God.
I've experienced it on two separate occasions because for some reason they actually decided to take they brought SmackDown to to Stevens Point for that, I think a UWSP show or something like that, and same thing. It was just Undertaker's music. His entrance is just so bone chilling. From the gong to the smoke and the pyro, Undertaker coming out, that just. Oh my gosh! That's how much respect you have for the Undertaker, and you just are still cringing to this day that oh crap, here comes the Undertaker.
Yeah, people I've heard a lot of people criticize the entrance takes forever by the 5 minutes pass or whatever, and it's like that's true, but with the build up and the mystique of the character and everything he's done, he's absolutely earned every second of that, and. It's weird how entertaining and kind of awe-inspiring watching this 50-plus-year-old guy just walk down a ramp can be. It's just...
The funny thing is that we thought that was the longest entrance, and then comes Finn Balor, who has one of the more very unique and very elaborate steals. It was just... still to this day, some people still complain about Finn's entrance being too long, but honestly, I think to myself,
those people are wrong.
I don't care, honestly. He is doing such an amazing job at the Gene and Geel, and
God, yeah.
if we actually did get a chance to see Taker versus Balor, that'd be awesome. I think right now it's a little too late for that, but I digress.
I gotta agree with you on that. I think it's a little too late, too.
So, when you first started watching wrestling at around 2, what was the first thing that you remember that caught your eye?
First things that I remember were I was being shown old tapes, like old VHS tapes from like 85 forward. Oddly enough, a lot of WCW stuff. So like my first memories of wrestling are like Flair, the Steiners, um, Surfer Sting, with the blonde crew cut and the rainbow face paint.
I do remember that.
I remember being 3 and watching the legendary NWA title match, Sting versus Flair, 60-minute Iron Man. That, but I think the first like full show I can remember watching wasn't the first episode of Raw, but it was an episode of Raw in the year that it debuted. Oh man, I can't even remember like specifically who was all on that show. I just remember kind of basically being set down in front of the TV, Raw starting, and just kind of never looking away from the TV, which is really odd because I'm pretty sure if you showed me any episode from Raw before like mid '96 right now, I'd go, please make it stop, please make it stop. Oh God, there's 2 Doink the Clowns, kill me now.
Oh look, Mario Jannetty.
Who?
I can't take it. I can't take it. No, I mean, but when you're like 2, 3, 4 years old, it's amazing. And then 95 rolls around and Nitro, and I don't understand the politics.
Right. So actually, now that we've gotten a little bit to knowing you, we'll get to know you a lot more throughout the show. But Spencer, I would like to actually also get your thoughts on this as well. Yes. Yesterday was actually the anniversary of the 15-year anniversary of the death of WCW.
Mm-hmm.
Holy cow. I mean, 15 years ago was the year that Vincent Kennedy McMahon announced that he bought his competition.
Hang on. Let's do it right, Max.
What?
Do your Vince McMahon impersonation.
I, Vincent Kennedy McMahon, own my competition. The fate of WCW is in my hands.
That sounded more like Macho Man Randy Savage.
It works.
I'll take Macho Man Randy Savage
There you
over
go.
Vince McMahon.
But anyway, continue. Sorry.
But no, it was just still one of those moments that it was just amazing because you didn't know what to expect. Vince came out and just saying, like, what's going to happen to WCW? You got to grab the competition by the throat and you got to squeeze the life out of that competition. And then look who comes out. And even 15 years later, he still gets that same reaction. Here comes the money. Here we go.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Now, the name on the contract does say McMahon.
Vince's face of just.
You got to remember that I am a new pro wrestling fan. I only have about 2.5 years of actual pro wrestling watching it live under my belt. I'm miles behind Max. But because of the WWE Network, I have watched a ton of iconic moments and Monday Night Raws, and the Monday Night War special on WWE Network really put the whole thing in perspective for me. But I did go back and watch that episode of Raw back in, what was it,
2001.
Yeah.
That was
what did the invasion storyline.
Yep.
Yeah, that was March, wasn't it, Nate?
I think it was March, yeah, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
But,
March.
yeah, I strictly remember watching Vince's face while his music was played, but Shane was on the... Because you got to remember, this is when Shane first started, he didn't have his own music quite yet. For some reason, he was using... It was like all the McMahons were using... No chance in hell!
Yeah.
That seems...
Unite them under one banner, essentially.
Right.
Basically.
Yeah, so... when Shane shows up in California, I think that's where it was... I strictly remember his face. Dad, the contract says McMahon,
Oh, man. And that
But-
iconic.
it reads
pause
Shane
for the
McMahon. That pause, yeah, where Vince just like,
It's like, oh my god!
my God, Margo.
It's crazy! Oh, man.
Hey, McMahon's on Nitro.
And, I mean, the only thing I would say, because, I mean, I did watch the Monday Night Wars show, is when you were actually watching it on TV, especially 99, 2000, 2001, the last few years, even as a kid, you kind of picked up on WWE